Greetings, commanders, and welcome to a new Gears of War video. In this video, we're going to be discussing the newest update that just dropped into the game today, and we're going to be talking about the two new officers that just joined us, Diana and Monica. These two new officers are incredible, and they actually just joined in time because right now we are in need of an anti-tank officer. But I'm a bit frustrated, to be honest with you guys, so we're going to be talking about their skills. We're going to be talking about everything that you guys want to know or need to know about them, and also we're going to be discussing a little bit the new interface changes that just dropped into the game too, which I think are pretty cool. If you like these types of videos where we give you useful guides and informations and overviews and highlights over new officers, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video so that you can get more Gears of War content in the future. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. So if we go to the notice board over here, you would see that we have 5 new things that have entered the game or have been added to the game. So we have some general changes in the general talent tree. However, we won't be discussing that in this video, as there's a small bug that actually changes the names and icons of the talent trees. So I'm still not sure if these are the final product of the updated talent trees. So we're gonna skip that for another video, and we're going to discuss that later on, and if these changes actually improve some talent trees, and because these changes can actually like change the whole setup that you are going with right now. So we're going to wait a little bit until the devs fix this small bug, and then we're going to do a video about that for sure in the future. We're going to intensively be talking about Monica and Diana that joined the game. And also, we're going to be talking a little bit about the overview features that have been added to the game, and also the improved game text. Now, the improved game text can be seen in multiple occasions. First things you can look at is now the new Events tab. It was called the Activities tab, and right now it's called the Events tab. Also, there have been some changes in the overall text in the game. I've seen that like in a couple other places, but nothing major. Now, the new interface actually has been seen from the players overview over here. We have also seen that in the behemoths, the level 5 behemoth, I do believe, or even the overall behemoths over here. You can see that as well. And just pretty cool interface changes. I do like these interface changes. I, however, think that we do require like the overall interface change that they showed us a while ago on Discord, and I think that is needed at this period, but I do understand that the devs are right now busy with server and whatnot. But like, these are minor changes, and let's talk about the big prize in this video, which are Monica and Diana over here. Now, these two officers are both anti-tank officers. One of them, which is Diana, is more focused into war. She's obtainable from the Lucky Wheel, usually spawning after Natalia, because Natalia was the last officer to spawn in the Lucky Wheel. So we should be able to get her in about, I would say, like probably a month or two in our server, as Natalia just spawned last week in the Lucky Wheel. Now, as you guys know, Lucky Wheels stay for 4 times, or they have 4 rotations, so you would be able to get an officer out of these 4 rotations. Now, unlocking this officer is very important from the Lucky Wheel, because otherwise you won't be able to unlock them unless there's like a future event that would provide you with this officer badges. However, in order to unlock them, you need to like spin the Lucky Wheel a little bit so that you can get enough badges to unlock them. Once you have unlocked them, you can use universal legendary badges to level them up and rank them up. That's completely fine. But the very important thing is that, like, my advice to you guys, for example, over here, as you can see, my Lubna is still level 1. I barely have some like rankings and badges on her. I just wanted to unlock her because I don't want to invest in her at this point in time. So if you don't want to invest in a legendary officer, just make sure you unlock them first in the Lucky Wheel, and then later on you can invest in them and put your legendary badges in them once you won. So Diana is obtainable, as we said, from the Lucky Wheel. She has an anti-tank, siege, and skill talent trees, which I think is a pretty interesting combination of talent trees over here. As you guys can see, we're going to be looking at her skills a little bit. So we have surprise attack as the first skill. This skill is very interesting, and guess who just got countered in the game very hard? Well, yeah, this skill counters Natalia very hard, and basically anybody that actually does a huge healing, for example, like Evelynn, those guys have been countered big time with this skill over here, because simply of the fact that she reduces the target's healing by 30%, which is a huge amount. And I think this counters those officers big time, especially with that huge damage multiplier of 1700. And that also increases to also giving 500 extra damage in the next round when she's dealing a normal attack, which I think is pretty good. Now, Diana overall is a very solid anti-tank officer, and her role probably in the game would be to leading field fights. She would be an amazing field fight, I would imagine, and she could be played as a siege commander because she has a siege talent tree. However, in terms of her skills, we have not seen yet a skill that is directed to attacking other players' bases or towers or whatnot. But we do see a lot of offensive skills over here. As you guys can see from this second passive skill, Fully Prepared, recovers rage by 100 when maxed out every time the senior officer uses a skill. Now, my advice to you guys in terms of this skill over here is basically place Diana as a junior officer, make sure you have her at 5 stars so you can benefit from the talent trees, and then add a senior officer or use a senior officer that actually has a rage generation like talent tree and abilities. For example, Lilith is a great example because of the skill tree over here. Another good rage generator would be, I would tell you guys, like, for example, let me see over here, where was that? Yeah, Helene is a great rage generator. Like, over here from her skill, she generates 50 rage. She also had the skill tree, and now the general tree from Rumors, it actually generates more rage. Now, I'm not saying that Natalia is the best pairing with Diana, but what you need to have is an officer that actually generates rage fast so that they can use their skill faster, and this way you would make Diana use her active skill even much more often. Now, this is a pretty good skill. I still don't see this like used a lot. Like, this is a pretty good skill. Not sure how effective this is going to be in combat, or even how the strategy that I just suggested would be effective in combat, but we're definitely going to see that once we unlock her. Now, moving on to her third skill, when a troops all made of anti-tanks, you would give them like a huge damage boost with a 3% damage increase. I think this is phenomenal. And her last one, I have mixed feelings about this one, guys. So when you're not being targeted, you take 20% less damage from counter attack damage, which is pretty good. But when you're being targeted, you get 30% reduced movement speeds to your specific march that Diana is in, which I think is actually like a huge amount, because like 30% means that you can never run. You can easily be chased by literally any troops in the game. You can be chased by artilleries. Hell, I mean, like, this is not the best. I would say like this is a bit over exaggerated in terms of like 30% movement speed. That's just a lot. I would just go for like 15 or maybe like maximum 20, because this way you won't be able to run or like just go out of battle, which I think is somehow not that great. Now, this could be like understandable because of the fact that like when you're not being attacked, you get that bonus, but that bonus would go away when you're being attacked. This is okay, but like you're getting a huge debuff in the movement speed over here, because this is simply just an outrageous debuff. So once you go in the move, like once you go in combat, it's so hard to go out of combat, especially if you're being focused. So definitely gotta be reworked over here. Now, let's move into another officer that I want to talk about, which is Monica. Monica is easily obtainable from the elite recruitment. As you guys can see, you can easily unlock her from the recruitment center, also the campaign shop. Now, let's just take a moment and appreciate the graphics that have been done over here. Amazing slow-mo graphics. I really like the intro of how they presented this officer. This is just pretty good. So kudos to the developers and designers of this new officer. She basically has three trees or channel trees: anti-tank, gatherer, and support. So far, that's actually pretty good. I do like the fact that they added another gatherer, but I do not like the fact that her skills are more based on an offensive senior officer, and then over here you have a gathering skill, which is pretty weird, guys. Now, hey, this is a great gathering skill, like 35% to gathering, to all gathering, obviously, and then 25% to other resources is amazing. But the main issue over here is that if you want to create a gatherer or an officer that is specialized for gathering, they have to also have some support like skills to sort of support in combat if they were to place as a junior officer. Now, the problem with this officer is that she has great senior officer, more offensive based skills, and nothing related to support. It's just like pure offensive. As you guys can see, this is rage reduction, damage multiplier huge 750, and 100 rage reduction, increasing attack and defense of tanks or tank destroyers. This is just a misspell over here, because she's a tank destroyer officer. And the final one over here, it would be for every normal attack, you would have like 10% chance to cause 2 normal attacks to deal additional 200 continuous damage, and also increasing your own movement speed by 30%, which is huge. Now, this works perfectly with Diana because of the decrease of the movement speed that Diana has. And lastly, you would enhance your defense plus offense or offense plus defense by 5% each, so you'd have like 15% attack and 15% defense. Now, my problem is here that like these skills are amazing, right? These skills are amazing for a senior officer ready to go fight in the field for combat and whatnot. Plus, the anti-tank and the support tree are just there for you, so to support this kind of officer. Problem with that is she cannot be really played as a gatherer, because simply like her gathering skill is just amazing. But if you get to play her as a gatherer, you're just wasting all these good skills, and then it's not really that worth it. Plus, the support tree is a bit awkward because she doesn't have any healing, which it's just like doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. So I do believe that there are some changes that must be applied to this officer over here, because otherwise it just doesn't fit together. It's just like if you look at all the gatherers over here, like for example Evelyn, Angel, all these gatherers have support abilities. Like, this is an amazing active skill over here, but obviously it's for support. It's debuffing, buffing, whatnot. Angel can never be used as a main like offensive combat officer because simply she doesn't have the capabilities for that. But like Monica over here does have the capabilities for that, but it's a bit like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I just don't like it that much. I don't like there's no synergy in these skills over here, and I don't think that's great. So it's either that the gathering skill is outie, or there are some adjustments to these skills over here, or maybe adding like a different talent tree, for example the skill tree, like rather than the support tree, because it just works better with these types of skills. I don't know. So leave me in the comments below, what are your thoughts about these 2 new officers and about the changes generally in the state of the game right now. We're also going to be doing some casual streams on Twitch, so if you haven't followed me over there yet, make sure you do, as we are doing some giveaways as well over there. We're giving away some gold and some goodies over there too. And you will definitely need the gold very soon, because the gold return is over here, and we're gonna do an exclusive video about that to tell you exactly how you can get the most value out of spending gold in this game, and when to actually spend the gold and benefit from that to the maximum. Now, for this video, we have to thank you guys so much for your support, and we will definitely see you on the next one. Eagle out.